A broken yellow centerline means that a. Passing is not permitted. b. Passing on the right is permitted when the way ahead is clear. c. Passing on the left is permitted when the way ahead is clear. c. Passing on the left is permitted when the way ahead is clear. A broken yellow centerline means that a driver may cross the centerline to pass another vehicle on the left as long as there is no oncoming traffic. Drivers should never cross a solid yellow centerline in order to pass. This road sign means a. Watch for people crossing your path. b. No passing zone. c. Work zone ahead. c. Work zone ahead. This orange warning sign tells drivers that an area of roadwork is upcoming. When traveling through a work zone, stay alert for temporary traffic control devices. If you want to make a 3-point turnabout and there is traffic approaching, you should a. Begin the turnabout right away. b. Flash your headlights and begin the turnabout. c. Yield to oncoming traffic coming from all directions before performing the maneuver. c. Yield to oncoming traffic coming from all directions before performing the maneuver. When you make a 3-point turn, all approaching traffic has the right of way. Only perform a turnabout when it is safe to do so. When sharing the road with a truck, it is important to remember that trucks generally a. Require longer distances to stop than smaller vehicles do. b. Require less time to pass on a downgrade than smaller vehicles do. c. Require a smaller turning radius than smaller vehicles do. d. Require less time to pass on an incline than smaller vehicles do. a. Require longer distances to stop than smaller vehicles do. Because of their size, trucks need longer distances to stop than smaller vehicles do.
Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
At a school crossing sign, you should a. Always stop, whether there's a stop sign or not. b. Watch for children and be ready to stop. c. Always sound your horn when you see children. d. Be ready to help children crossing the street. b. Watch for children and be ready to stop. You must always yield to pedestrians who are in or about to enter a crosswalk. Be alert to pedestrians when driving across intersections or turning. You must yield to a pedestrian using a white cane or guide dog. a. Only when the guide dog is leading the person across the street. b. At all times. c. Only if a crossing guard is present. b. At all times. Pedestrians who use guide dogs or white canes, with or without a red tip, must be given the right of way at all times. If another driver cuts you off in traffic, you should a. Pull next to the driver and yell at them. b. Let it go. c. Flash your high beams at the driver. d. Get back at the other driver by cutting them off. Which of the following statements is true? a. A sudden change in weather calls for a change in driving. b. You should slow down when driving in rain and fog. c. Be particularly aware of vehicles coming up behind you in inclement weather. d. All of the above. d. All of the above. If the weather changes suddenly, you will need to adjust your driving to adapt. Always slow down when driving in rainy or foggy conditions. Be especially aware of vehicles behind you that may be going too fast for conditions. Your tire blows out while you are driving. You should A. Slam on your brakes. B. Hold your steering wheel tightly and slow to a stop. C. Keep driving normally. D. Turn on your emergency flashers and continue driving. B. Hold your steering wheel tightly and slow to a stop. If you experience a tire blowout, do not immediately apply the brakes. Grip the steering wheel firmly and steer to remain in your traffic lane. Reduce your speed gradually by releasing the accelerator and staying off the brakes. Once you are moving very slowly, apply the brakes lightly and pull off the road into a safe area. What might happen when alcohol is combined with another drug? A. The effects of the alcohol and the drug may both be increased. B. Nothing will happen. C. The effects of the alcohol and the drug may both be reduced. D. The effects of only the alcohol may be reduced. A. The effects of the alcohol and the drug may both be increased. Consuming both alcohol and another drug may enhance the effects of both. For example, taking one drink when you are also using a cold remedy could affect you as if you have had several drinks. When passing another vehicle, you should return to your original lane when A. You can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. B. You have cleared the front bumper of the passed vehicle. C. You are 50 feet in front of the passed vehicle. A. You can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. When passing another vehicle, move back into your original lane only when you can see the passed vehicle's headlights in your rearview mirror. This ensures that you will have enough room to safely pull back in front of the other vehicle. After you have passed a vehicle moving in the same direction, it is safe to move back into the right lane? A. After about 3 seconds. B. When you can no longer see the passed vehicle over your right shoulder. C. When you can see the entire front of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. C. When you can see the entire front of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. When passing, you should not return to your original lane until you can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. Always check your blind spots before moving back into your original lane. If a motorist sees pedestrians in an upcoming crosswalk, they should A. Continue ahead because motorists always have the right of way. B. Wait for the pedestrians to cross. C. Pull to the right and move behind the pedestrians. B. Wait for the pedestrians to cross. At a crosswalk, you should yield to any pedestrian. Continue driving when it is safe to do so. Double solid yellow line markings down the center of a road indicate that passing is A. Allowed from both directions. B. Allowed only from your direction of travel. C. Not allowed from either direction. C. Not allowed from either direction. A double yellow centerline means that it is prohibited for traffic from either direction to cross the centerline to pass. When driving to an unfamiliar area, you A. should depend on road signs to find your way. B. should plan your trip in advance. C. only have to know generally where your destination is. D. should always choose the most direct route. B. should plan your trip in advance. When driving to an unfamiliar area, plan your trip in advance. Don't start with only a hazy idea of where you are going. If your destination is in an unfamiliar area, check the location on a map before you start to drive. The first thing that alcohol affects is A. Vision. B. Judgment. C. Balance. B. Judgment. Alcohol reduces all of the important abilities you need to drive safely. Alcohol goes from your stomach to your blood, then from your blood to all other parts of your body. Alcohol affects the areas of your brain that control judgment and skill. Drive below the posted speed limit when A. Anything makes conditions less than perfect. B. You see a police car. C. Entering a highway where there are other cars. D. You are on a 4-lane road. A. Anything makes conditions less than perfect. When the road is wet or slippery, when you cannot see well, or when anything else makes conditions less than perfect, drive below the posted speed limit. Even if you are driving within the posted speed limit, you can still be ticketed for driving too fast for conditions. If you experience a tire blowout, A. Take your foot off the gas. B. Do not immediately use your brakes. C. Gradually slow down and pull off the side of the road. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. If you experience a tire blowout, take your foot off the gas pedal and do not immediately apply the brakes. Gradually slow down before gently applying the brakes and pulling off the side of the road. Anything that requires you to fill in the blank could cause you to crash. A. Take your eyes off the road. B. Take your hands off the wheel. C. Take your attention away from the task of driving. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Anything that causes you to take your attention away from driving, take your eyes off the road, and/or take your hands off the wheel as a distraction. Which of the following is true about driving on a wet roadway? A. As you drive faster, your tires become less effective. B. Water does not affect cars with good tires. C. Deep water is less dangerous than shallow water. D. As you decrease your speed, the roadway becomes more slippery. A. As you drive faster, your tires become less effective. The faster you drive on a wet roadway, the less effective your tires will be at wiping the water from the road. If your speed becomes excessive enough, your tires will lose their grip on the road entirely and you will begin to hydroplane, that is, to slide down the road on a film of water. This sign means A. Pedestrian crossing. B. Side road. C. Railroad ahead. A. Pedestrian crossing. This sign indicates that there is a pedestrian crosswalk. The maximum speed limit when driving in a rural area is fill in the blank. Unless a higher limit is allowed by federal law. A. 40 miles per hour. B. 55 miles per hour. C. 60 miles per hour. B. 55 miles per hour. In rural areas, the maximum speed limit is 55 miles per hour, unless a higher limit is allowed by federal law. In urban districts or residential areas, the maximum speed limit is 30 miles per hour. This sign tells you that A. No turns are allowed on this road. B. The road narrows ahead. C. There are a series of curves ahead. D. The road may be slippery when wet. C. There are a series of curves ahead. This sign warns of an upcoming winding road with 3 or more curves. If you are stopped by a police officer, you should A. Pull over to the right side of the road. B. Stop your vehicle as far away from traffic as possible. C. Turn off your engine, radio, and any other device that may interfere with hearing the officer. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. If you are stopped by a police officer, pull over to the right side of the road and stop your vehicle as far from traffic as possible. Turn off the engine, the radio, and any other devices that may interfere with your communication with the officer. At a railroad crossing, you must A. Watch for vehicles that must stop at all railroad crossings, school buses, trucks carrying hazardous materials, etc. B. Watch for multiple trains. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. You must approach all railroad crossings with extreme caution and cross only when you know that no train is coming from either direction. Be aware of vehicles that must stop at all railroad crossings, such as school buses and trucks carrying hazardous materials. When parking next to a curb, you should use your turn signals. A. Only when pulling away from the curb. B. When pulling next to, but not away from, the curb. C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. Drivers should signal when pulling next to a curb or away from a curb. When your wheels run off the pavement, you should A. Hit the brakes hard. B. Grip the steering wheel firmly, begin to slow down, then move slowly back onto the road surface. C. Hit the brakes firmly and jerk the steering wheel hard to pull the vehicle onto the road surface as quickly as possible. B. Grip the steering wheel firmly, begin to slow down, then move slowly back onto the road surface. If one or more of your wheels run off of the pavement, grip the steering wheel firmly and slow down by taking your foot off the accelerator. Do not attempt to cut back sharply onto the pavement. Instead, look to see that the road is clear, then move slowly back onto the highway. If you approach a flashing red traffic light, you A. Are traveling in the wrong direction. B. Must treat the intersection as if it is controlled by a stop sign. C. May not proceed until it changes to green. B. Must treat the intersection as if it is controlled by a stop sign. Treat a flashing red light the same as a stop sign. Come to a complete stop at the stop line or, if there is no stop line, prior to the crosswalk and before entering the intersection. Yield to all other traffic and pedestrians. Driving more slowly than surrounding traffic is A. A good idea if the weather is bad. B. Appropriate if you don't know the speed limit. C. Often a hazard because other drivers may become frustrated and try to pass you. C. Often a hazard because other drivers may become frustrated and try to pass you. Driving more slowly than other traffic can be dangerous. Drivers behind you may become impatient and will be tempted to take dangerous risks to pass you. You are approaching a railroad crossing that has no visible gates or flashing lights, but has a standard crossbuck. You should A. Approach all tracks with extreme caution and cross only when you know that there is no train coming. B. Turn your radio down to hear if there may be an approaching train. C. Only continue once cleared to do so by a flagger, if applicable. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. You must approach all railroad crossings with extreme caution and cross only when you know that no train is coming from either direction. If there is a flagger at a crossing, you must obey all of their instructions.